What's going on, everyone? Josh here with Full of Games. Ever since Microsoft and Xbox announced that they were acquiring Bethesda, I've had a few questions about this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have had some questions too. I've also had some theories about this after thinking about it for a little while, so I figured I'd come on here and talk about those theories and just have a little fun with it. So without further ado, let's pull up a chair, sit back and relax, and let's talk about Xbox acquiring Bethesda. Let's go. Starting this off, let's talk about one of the more popular theories out there. And even though I think this is a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, this may very well be the main reason why Microsoft and Xbox want to acquire Bethesda in the first place, and that is to hurt Sony this generation. Sony with the PS5 is Microsoft's direct competitor to the Series X, and these two consoles are battling it out this generation. I mean, this is an all-out console war. And for Microsoft to keep games like Skyrim, Fallout, and even Doom Eternal off of the PS5 is a huge win for Microsoft, and even getting those games day one onto the Game Pass is going to be an even bigger win for Microsoft in the long run. Now, last generation, Microsoft really didn't have many games in the way of exclusives. They had the Forza series, they had the Halo series, and they also had Sunset Overdrive, which wasn't really a console seller. But Sony, on the other hand, had God of War, they had Ratchet & Clank, they had the Uncharted series, which for some of you may be a console purchase. But as far as exclusives go, Microsoft really needs to double down, and by buying Bethesda is a definite win for Microsoft in the way of exclusives. Now again, this may be a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, but again, this also may be the main reason why Microsoft wanted to purchase Bethesda in the first place. But I do not think that is the main reason why Xbox wanted to purchase Bethesda. This next theory that I have is the main reason why I feel like that Xbox and Microsoft wanted to acquire Bethesda in the first place. Now, do you remember when they showed up the Halo Infinite gameplay at the Xbox Game Showcase? Yeah, it didn't go over so well. It was running on a PC that was spec'd to be like an Xbox Series X, and quite frankly, the world textures were muddy. The character models didn't look that great, and the gun models didn't look that great. And people did not respond to this as Microsoft had hoped they would. And Halo is their flagship game for the console. And a few weeks later, they told us that the game was going to be delayed because they wanted to make the game look a lot better for the consumers, for us gamers. And about a month and a half later, we're getting the news that Microsoft and Xbox are acquiring ZeniMax Studios, parent company to Bethesda. Now, what other companies has ZeniMax Studios acquired in most recent years, which had an IP reboot back in 2016 and also had a follow-up sequel in 2020, March of 2020 to be more exact? Oh yeah, they bought out id Software, and they have the Doom IP, which was a big seller at the beginning of this year. And on top of that, id Software holds a license for id Tech 7. And this right here is the main reason why I feel like that Microsoft wanted to acquire Bethesda in the first place. Halo Infinite wasn't well received when it was first shown, and quite frankly, I'm glad that they actually delayed the release of the game, and they're working on this very, very hard in order to correct what they have wronged. And to acquire the id Tech engine would be a smart move on Microsoft's behalf, only to make this game look its best and run its best across PC and Xbox alike. So in order for Microsoft to acquire the id Tech 7 engine, they had to go and buy the entire game studio itself. So that's what they did. They went and they had a deal with Bethesda, and they said, hey, we're gonna give you $7.5 billion and we're gonna buy you. And Bethesda went, okay. And they just took the money and ran, honestly. And yes, Microsoft could have licensed the use of the id Tech 7 engine from Bethesda, but then they would have had paid Bethesda royalties on every copy of the game that they sell. And that just doesn't seem like they want to do that. It seems like they want to keep the money for themselves. So why not just buy out the company if you can? Now, this is a smart move on Microsoft's part in order to make Halo Infinite look as best as possible. And again, this is just speculation, this is just a theory that I had, but I do believe that they wanted to purchase Bethesda for the reasons of getting their hands on id Tech 7 license so they can use that in the Halo Infinite game and make the game look absolutely incredible. When Doom Eternal launched, that game looked absolutely amazing. It ran smooth, it ran absolutely flawlessly, and it ran at 144 plus frames a second, and you can get that pretty reasonably on low spec hardware. And honestly, for Microsoft to acquire that, that is just a smart move in their part. And to make Halo Infinite just as good as Doom Eternal would be a godsend for gamers. And again, this is just my theory, but I am hoping that I'm correct in this theory that Microsoft wanted to buy Bethesda for the use of the id Tech engine. Halo Infinite was not well received when they showed it off at the Xbox Game Showcase, and for Microsoft to delay the game to look as best as possible is a smart move on Microsoft's behalf. But then again, only time will tell. I hope they do it, but you never know. They may just be like, we're just gonna use the textures here and just try to doctor them up a little bit and make them look good. But you guys have access to the id Tech 7 engine. Use it, Microsoft. Use that id Tech 7 engine. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more from For Love of Games, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that way you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And until next time, guys, I'm Josh with For Love of Games, signing out. Have a great day.